Mic check 1 2 1 2. Let's get this camera to stop all this flickering, man. Let's see. So basically, the camera flickering because I don't have a good light source. I had one of those ring lights, but they just got broke. So let's see if I. Yeah, that junk still flickering. There we go. Oh. There we go. All right. Man, I've been outside working in the sun every day, so I'm super chocolate, boy. Yeah, I'm a whole 3 4 shades darker, boy. So yeah, I'm just gonna let's see. I'll go back to what I was doing. So I was sharing some stories with y'all. Let me get that back pulled up. Let's see. Let me get that back pulled up. So what I was doing, I was sharing my whole screen. Let's see, put me on the left side. I like being on the left side. All right. Yeah, boy, I've been out there in that sun, boy. Got me a whole different shade, boy. Got me looking all red. The sun ain't no joke, boy. So anyway, stories with y'all. Couple horror stories, couple crime stories, some feel good stories. It's all kind of different ones. So, I'm just sharing them with y'all, man. And y'all got any questions, you can ask them. And I'm just giving y'all the breakdown of what's going, or what it is. So let's see. Y'all want to see Michael Myers? Here we go. Like the head. Here we go.
Halloween ends, you should check it. If you ain't because it's a good movie, but because you just gotta see it if you've been watching the franchise, from the time you was a little kid and all that, you gotta check it out. Recently, like this is trending on Twitter right now, because the guy who made the movie said this is the way he was gonna make Mike look before, like I guess before they started filming it, man. Like when he had his mask snatched up off his head, he was gonna make him look like. Now, why is you finna make Mike look like Jason? I don't know. Why you got his mouth looking like? I don't know. That would be like a gangster, like that gangster type look there. Yeah. Is that supposed to be what that is? I don't know, man. But I'm glad he didn't do that, because that would have just, made the movie even crazier than it was, man. Now, if they were smart, they, take over the Halloween franchise, because you know what I'm gonna do with it, boy. I'm gonna put it in the hood, man. That's like a boy. I'll put it right in the hood.
Alright, that ain't the video I thought. This is what I thought. I'll just let it play. But this is the one I was really looking for right here.
This is a young man that inspired John Carpenter to do the Halloween movies. Wade John Carpenter was a famous filmmaker. He was just a young boy growing up, and one evening, as the sun was going down and all that, he saw himself drawn to like a local jail. Now he looked through the bars of the jail and he saw a young black teenager inside. Now the teenager clothes was, raggedy, and his eyes was like anything John said he ever seen. And there was like no emotion in his eyes. It was just like an empty hole. It was like living in the boy's head. So young John, he couldn't tell away from his look. And he just couldn't move, he just couldn't get it out of his head. Now he said it was like his eyes held a secret or like something more sinister, down beneath the surface or whatever. And he felt like a chill crawled up down the spine. And his young man just started to make up like tales trying to understand like where could this darkness come from. And that night John just couldn't sleep. And the image of that mysterious teenager just haunted his dreams, and he couldn't shake the feeling that he had, just witnessed something that just he couldn't explain. It was something he felt he could share and put it in a film or whatever. So years later, once his filmmaking career got popping, that memory resurfaced, and it became the whole like a seed of inspiration for his whole Halloween franchise. And the teenager with the empty evil eyes became the basis for the whole, character of Michael Myers. And, Michael just like this relentless evil force. That's the same thing he felt about the boy. So the legend goes that it was on that encounter, looking through that jail, that he seen that guy that just, jacked him up for life really bad. And it lead him to create one of the most iconic, villains up in the movies.
Yeah, man. So that's the boy where they got the idea for Michael Myers from. That's where it came from. Man, look, a lot of this, I'm telling you, all this stuff, man, it all comes from somewhere. They don't just pop up and come up with this stuff off the top of their head, man. A lot of this stuff all come from different places, man. Uh, let's see. Here we go. This is a good one.
So my grandma told me about this couple back in the Mississippi Delta that never left their porch. She said that house was like up off in the woods, and you really wouldn't even know it was there because the driveway to it was all overgrown and everything. So when they was on their way from school, they would cut through the woods to like kind of make them a little shortcut, and that's how they first seen the E4 house. And they said every time they walked past the house, the couple was always sitting on the porch. Now they would always they weren't right next to the house. They'd be like off up in the woods some, and the couple would always be there. She said she had never see them talking to each other. She had never see them like moving around, cleaning up, sweeping, eating no, it'd just be there, just be sitting. So her big brother got the idea that they should sneak in there one night and see what's really going on, man. So what happened is one night they got up around 3 a.m. They waited till, all the big mom and them was sleeping, all that, and they snuck out. When they snuck out, they climbed out of their window and even was smart enough to leave clothes piled up in the bed just in case somebody got to go check on them. So when they making their way through the woods, they said they was terrified because back then everybody was superstitious, man. It just was how life went back then. So they making their way to the house. Now while they making their way to the house, they get there and they see it off in the distance. Now, of course they ain't had no street lights and all that. All they had was the moonlight. So as they coming up on the house, they realize that they see the couple still sitting there. Now they still way off in the woods. And the couple didn't, of course, the couple couldn't see him because they way off in the woods. So she said the couple didn't have no lights, they didn't have no lantern or nothing like that. They said they even waited a minute just to make sure they didn't catch them. Maybe they heard a noise, so they came out on the porch. So they said she even waited a minute just to make sure that they was really, just sitting there like they do in the daytime. And they said they stayed there for about a whole hour or two, seemed like. But they had to come on and get back because, Papa was getting up at the crack of dawn, so they had to hurry on back and be in the bed by the time he got there. And she said they sat on their porch the whole time they was there, and it scared them to death. And after that, that's when they say the legend started spreading about this couple. So my
Yeah, that's a crazy story right there, man. That is a crazy story right there. And that story went pretty viral on TikTok, man. That one right there really blew people's minds, man. Hey, you gotta think, man. Imagine you walking through the woods, casually strolling through the woods, and man, you just see you see this house. It's just real old looking house, and then you get to that porch, and you see an old couple just sitting there, not moving, not talking. Won't wave at you, won't say nothing to you, not saying nothing to each other. And you see it one time, you like, okay, hi, they just they just having a bad day. Then you see it two times, you like, okay, maybe they having a bad week. But they was seeing this day after day after day. They was just seeing it, over and over again. So that's when they realized, like, nah, something ain't right here, man. Something is going on because it ain't nowhere in the world that we gonna keep seeing this same thing over. Something ain't right. So, that's why they put together their little plan to try to sneak up on them at night and see, what was going on, try to look up inside the house. But then once they did that, now they kind of wishing like, dang, we should just let them folk alone, man. So I'm gonna play the next part for you.
So the Mississippi Delta is where this took place at. These folk had never left the porch. They sat on the porch all day, all night. My grandmama and them would see them on their way to school, on their way home, and they wanted to try to figure out what was going on. So they woke up in the middle of the night. The folk was still there, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., still there. Never moved, never walked, never talked, none of that. So what they did was on their way to school, they walked a little closer to the people. They said hi to them, and the people just watched them. They just watched them walk by and didn't say nothing to them and all that. So, they said, okay, something ain't right. But they realized that the man had a gun on him, had a rifle on the ground, and the lady had a pistol. So, they said, okay, why did they got that? It don't seem like they want to pop people for getting too close to the property. So, because we've been walking, basically on their property, passing, going to school. So, they got slick and said, we're going to come back and walk around the property because they said they seen something look like moved inside the house, look like a curtain or something moved, like something was in there. So they came and walked around the edge of the forest and got to the back door. And when they got to the back door, they had one of them big crossbars on the back, but the crossbar was on the outside instead of the inside. Why would you put the lock on the outside of the door? And they had bars and junk on the windows. And back then, that wasn't something you saw. Like, you might see that now if you live in a big city or something. But back then, you ain't gonna see that, especially out in the country, man. Country folk to this day don't even lock. I got neighbors don't even lock their door. I'm gonna go ahead and just let y'all know what was in the house, and I'll get some more details on it as time go. But what was in the house, it was the devil. The devil himself in the flesh form, or one of his angels in a flesh form, because the Mississippi Delta has been hiding the devil for years, man. Since the Civil War, the Mississippi Delta has been hiding the devil or one of his angels for years. So somewhere, allegedly, in the Delta, this house is there, and the devil is still locked inside. And I just hope that these old folks still sitting around there guarding to make sure he don't get up out of there. So the Mississippi Delta is where this.
So the Delta is a place that's always been struggling. Things was better back at a time, but man, you know, it was a lot of stuff went through it there during like the Civil War. A lot of people lost their life. And you got a lot of people was mistreated there during slavery. They had a lot of people was mistreated there during sharecropping. You got a lot of people mistreated there during Jim Crow, and you got a lot of people still mistreated there today, man. So you know, man, Mississippi is just one of them places that it's all like it's just they just can't seem to get it bumping. You know, they got Biloxi and stuff like that, and that's crazy for Mississippi to be a place where they can do the casinos. Is you know, excuse me, you don't think where they do the casinos at that they would do okay because they basically can just print money, but you know the casinos only benefit a select few. Casinos don't seem to benefit everybody, just a few. It take money from everybody, but it don't seem to benefit everybody. You know me, you know I wouldn't open a casino even if I had the chance to because you know hey man sometimes you know I'm learning man some all money ain't good money, you know. And I hear people say that and you know and I'm still learning, but you know I guess they say hey man when you lay down at night you want to lay down with a clear conscience. And when you pray and ask for forgiveness, you want to really be able to, you know, be forgiven because you actually gonna stop doing whatever it is that you asking for forgiveness from. But I guess if you run in that casino and stuff, it's kind of hard to ask for forgiveness if this is what you know, if it's eating at your conscience and this is what you do, then hey, you know, I could see that. So moving along, yeah, that's the folk with the porch. So yeah, man, they down there in Biloxi, man. I mean, not Biloxi. They down there in the Delta. The Delta is like the northwest region in Mississippi. You know, they got it kind of split up. I think the Mississippi River. Well, I might be wrong about that, but they got it split up. But if I'm not mistaken, the Delta is the northwest region. In Biloxi, I know Biloxi down south. You know, off the Gulf of Mexico or whatever. I like driving down past that though, man. I like driving through that area. Nice scenery. Let's see. Let's see. So yeah, that's the folk on the porch. So that's why you gotta be careful walking through the woods, boy. You get to walking through that woods, you seen some stuff that you wish you ain't seen. You gonna see some stuff, boy. You can see some stuff coming through that woods, man. You gotta be careful. Let me see. Which one I want to do next? I'll let y'all know about since I got my window open, let's do an open window Joe.
This is a police sketch from way back in the day. His name Open Window Joe. Now Joe, his name meant exactly what he liked to do. Your windows open, he coming through that mug. Didn't matter if it was nighttime, daytime. Didn't matter if you was sitting right there. You could be sitting right there with that thing in your hand. But guess what? When Joe catch a window that's open, he coming right on through. Now I heard about this story over there in the Carolinas, so it's somewhere from in the Carolinas. I heard it. I was traveling through, passing through somebody's. You know, I was talking at truck stops. I always try to talk to all the folk I could, and that's the story that they passed on. So what? After he keep coming, busting up in folk house, and they say he'll come in there to rob you. Sometimes he come in there just to eat some. Sometimes he come in there just to mess with you. Like they said, his mind wasn't real. Like, you know, he wasn't normal. So it wasn't like he said, sometimes he just came in just cause like he come in and start laughing and junk. So his mind was just all jacked up. So the police kept getting reports to the guy, and all the sketches, all the time people describe him, this is what they would come up with. And this was like the final sketch that they broadcast on the newspaper and all that for folk to be on the lookout for him. Now, as far as I know, he was never caught. If anybody else heard different, let me know. But as far as I know, as far as I was told, he was never caught. So then they say that, eventually that he rounded up on the wrong person and they took care of old Joe. But like I say, it's an urban legend. So I hear different stories. I got another little part I'll tell on it. So, but that's part one right here. This is.
You better close your window, bro. Better keep that window closed. Man, that boy, one of the scariest things in the world to me is a guy that got up out that insane asylum and run up in your house, boy. But good thing we don't just have insane asylums. If you live next to an insane asylum, man, because you don't see that too often, man. You see it on movies and stuff. So if anybody live next to an insane asylum, let me know what that's like. What is your daily like? Is you worried about them breaking up out of there?
Hey, man, what the?
Bro, you got my money.
Man, I ain't got it yet, man. Come on, man. Watch out.
You got my money.
I just said I ain't got
How long
it
is
yet,
it gonna take
man.
for you to get my money?
Man, I need about 7-8 days, man.
Hey,
About 10 days, man.
what I tell you I
Man.
was gonna do, you ain't have my money.
Come on, man. I don't want to say
What
it.
I tell you I was gonna do?
They gonna slap my hair around the
Like,
back, man.
my cousin, my favorite cousin. Don't make me out. Don't want my money, bro.
I ain't got it, man. Give me about 10 days, man. Don't slap my hair around to the back, man. Oh, man, she slapped my hair around to the back, man. Oh, man. Jesus.
Oh man, I would like to do more. I would like to do little movies, man, because I actually won a film festival, man. So I would like to, but hey, man, I need some support. I need some support. I ain't gonna lie, man. Well, I believe we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. One day, man. One of these pages gonna pop. One day. One day, one of them gonna pop. I don't know which one and what day, but it'll be one day. It'll blow up. So anyway, let's see. What should I show y'all next? This here. This is a story that's creepy, but it ain't like in your face creepy. But it's creepy enough, but it's really creepy because it mess with you. Like it had you thinking like, dang, you'd be like, dang, what was that? How did that? You know what I'm saying? It kind of got that vibe to it where it's like, you know, what's going on, man? Why is this like, you know what I'm saying? And it's almost kind of like you wish that you just saw a ghost or a demon. Like you rather see that than this because this right here, you don't know what you was looking at. You don't even know where to start. You can't even explain it. Here we go.
So I got an uncle whose birthday on Halloween, man. It really shaped his. So I got an uncle whose birthday on Halloween, man. It really shaped his character, man. He got every time, he always got some crazy stories. Every time I get with him, see him, he's always something. So one time he was out there truck driving, that junk running my family. And he said that every night, he'll pull the truck over at a rest stop or a truck stop or whatever, pull over and go to sleep. So every night he'd go to sleep. And when he would wake up, this is what he would see every day. Like he'd go to sleep and it would be just normal. And he'll wake up and it'd be this giant, like 20-foot rock that's just there. He said it'd never be there when he lay down and go to sleep. But every morning he'll wake up and it'll be a different rock in a different spot. And some of them he felt like was looking at him. So these are the different pictures that he took, every morning when he got up out the bed, woke up in the back of the truck or whatever. So after a while, he realized, like at first he didn't pick it up. He said he just see the, oh, that's nice. But then after a while he realized, God dang, how I keep running into these big old, big boulders, right? Big Hulk boulders. So after a while he realized that it would only be there the next morning when he woke up. Now, I've been trying to figure this thing out myself, and all I can say is it gotta be something like following him, right? But it gotta be like in disguise, so it's disguising itself as a big rock. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, man. So I got an uncle.
So what y'all think that is, man? When you how do you wrap your mind around that? What do what do you see? How do you explain that one? Yeah, that one right there, man. That one right there, man. That's something else. That is something else right there, bro. Some stories is very hard to explain, and that is one of them. That's one of them stories I can't make heads or tails of, man. You know, I think like maybe it was alien. Something alien related. That's all I could. That's all I could really say. Excuse me. That's all I could say was just something alien related. And what else? It ain't nothing else I really could see, man. So yeah, that was a story he passed on to me, man. That I just wanted to share with y'all, man, and see what y'all think of it. It could be, and he said these the pictures he really took. So I just don't know, bro. I don't know. Man, look, I don't know. I wish I could tell you, but I can't make heads or tails of that story, bro. I can't make heads or tails of that one. I don't know which way. I don't, because man, I'm telling you, man, it ain't always like that in your face stuff that's scary, man. Sometimes it's just that little subtle thing, man. Sometimes it's just that little thing that happened that you just can't explain. You just can't. Even if you tried, man, you just like, bro, I can't even. I can't even begin to even. Where you even start? If something like that happened to you, how you explain that to anybody? What you gonna tell them? Shoot. I don't even know what to tell somebody about something like that. Like, yeah, man, it was a big rock that was following me. They're gonna be like, bro, because it's not dramatic enough to really, draw somebody like where they be like, oh man, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't crazy dramatic. It's just like so subtle, man. It's like whatever messing with you, yeah, we gonna make you look crazy. You gonna just look. We just gonna make you look crazy. You ain't gonna even be able to explain it. You just look stupid. And here go another one that's like nature related. Y'all, let me know what y'all think about this one.
At the end, I'm gonna show y'all how come these trees be walking. Alright, now get the Tootsie Roll out your ear so you can hear. Cause this one right here is crazy, man. So sometime down here in the south, if you go through the woods by yourself, there's some like unseen like forces or whatever, man, that'll make you get lost. So now, if you ever going through these woods up and by yourself, and you going up through yonder and all that, you can get lost because these it's like old witches that put like curses on these certain parts of the forest to keep folks from finding like they secret layer, like they little laboratory or whatever. Now, when you get to these sections, or if you like, and people that built houses on these sections, all kind of stuff. One thing that help you like identify these places is the walking trees. So there's been people who done caught videos of these trees just straight up just walking, just straight up moving. So the trees was like the security for the witches. So like if they had one of their little experiments or little rituals or whatever going on in a certain place, the trees would move to cover up, what they was doing. But now since the witches ain't there, they done passed on, but the curse still there. So now every now and then, if the situation right, the trees will just move on their own because they still alive through what the witches have done to them. So now inside this tree here, you see a kind of like a pyramid built up into the thing. Now pyramids supposedly is like sources of power, like they generated some kind of power. I've even seen things that said that the Egyptians had electricity and junk before, way back in the technology got lost. I guess when they got conquered or whatever, they didn't share the technology or they didn't explain it. So he just ended up getting, wiped away or whatever. So you see here, this tree was grown, inside this pyramid. So that's one of the ways that they would use to empower these trees so it's like a little generator built into it, man. So yeah, that's just crazy, man. Now I do got a story from an old lady I know. She told me that about when she seen a walking tree. So I probably like record her telling that story, man. But y'all hit that hard, man. Appreciate y'all. At the end, I'm gonna
So the walking tree story, what y'all think about that one, man? What do what come to mind when you see these stories? Is you thinking that it's is this one that you think is a prank, or is this something you think is just some weird act of nature where the trees then caught the root of the tree is like on some kind of fault line, and like how the plates on the earth shift like when it's an earthquake, and maybe it get caught on that fault line and then start pulling it. Because to me, the only thing that stopped the one thing about it is like the person taking the video. If you video a tree walking or you see a tree walking, in my mind, I'm thinking you're gonna run to that tree to see what's going on. You either gonna run to it to see what's going on, or you're gonna freak out and run away from it. One way or the other. So some of the videos you see that right there looking at it. And some of the other videos they kind of back in the distance. So that so at first that's the ones I saw was back in the distance. But then when I saw the ones where they was right up on it, I'm like, bro, how do you fake that? How you fake that? It's a lot of stuff you can manipulate, man, but you can't manipulate no tree walking and tearing the ground up while it walk. That's just one that you and it ain't like a movie scene because it ain't like quality like movie quality. Like you can look at it and tell this something somebody shot on their phone. So this is just one of them how you scratching your head even though ain't nothing itching. So I hope y'all enjoy that. And I'm gonna do this every day, and I'm gonna do this every day because I want to try to make something of this channel and build it back up and get it going. And let's see if we can make something happen, man. But I can't do it without y'all. So I got a little studio fun I want to do. I want to try to raise a couple thousand. So these folks will let me use their studio to do what I need to do. And the way they said it was You know, when people, I guess, folk assume that like I'm killing the game. So because I do social media and stuff, so they just assume I'm just balling. I guess. So I just play along. So when they told me the number, I just acted like, okay, all right, let's start. I'll work on putting that together. I won't say, man, is you crazy? I ain't got no. But if you want to start with the big dogs, that's what you gotta do. So they'll help me get some stuff together, man. Maybe I can get some. I got a lot of kids, man, and they ain't got no sense. But I appreciate y'all, man. So if you can hit me up on the Cash App, that's cool. And I appreciate y'all, man. I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to make it work, man.